I'm with Honorable Muhammad Gudaji Kazori in Abuja. Honorable, good day. I just come to ask you one or two questions on your committee, the committee that recovered so many things that maybe Nigerians before they did not know what is actually going on this stamp duty. Can you shed more light what is going on now? Is the committee still working, or your committee is no longer working, is no longer active?
Oh, thank you very much, Nasuru. My name is Honorable Mohammed Gudaji Kazaure, member representing Kazaure, Ron Guiwa and Mkwashi. I am from Jigawa State. This committee is still working. As I told you, journalists, still there is certain documents with us that we never release to press. But we are still working underground, investigating the money underground, and we are waiting for the day that we will enter CBN and recover Nigerians' money back to Nigerian government account. This is what we are working, and since our committee started, already Mr. President told me that anybody that comes to say we should stop investigation is not from him. So Mr. President assured me that we have to continue investigating public money so that government will stop borrowing and made our children and our grandchildren into slavery. So Mr. President is with Nigerians. Mr. President is trying to bring those corrupt officials to book. So I am assure you that our committee still is working, and our committee will continue investigation, and we are still inviting certain relevant authorities to come and explain what they know about these charges. And thank God, I said 89.1 trillion. People are surprising. There was one minister that I never heard from him, but he said I'm supposed to go to psychiatric.
Or maybe they're supposed to go and test and find out what is wrong with your brain.
That is what, because of the amount of the money they had, 89 trillion, but he's supposed to be, the person that told me that I supposed to be, my brain supposed to be investigated in the psychiatric. He is the one supposed to be investigated, because as a government official, as a minister, he's supposed to know what is going. He could have invited me, because he's my right man. We are all working under President Muhammad Buhari. So he can invite me and ask me my side. And now, how will he say to the Nigerian people that almost 22 trillion borrowed to the federal government by Central Bank of Nigeria? And the Central Bank in 2020, they said they borrowed 23.4 trillion to banks. So when you add 22 trillion with 24 trillion, it will give you almost 46 trillion. So somebody who can borrow 46 trillion to government and the banks, how much he have that he can borrow you 46 trillion. And when you look at the total equity of the CBN, As at, I think they are 0.3 trillion. But surprisingly, how those people get opportunity to borrow 46 trillion to federal government and the banks. So that money that I am suspecting is the government money. They share it, they give it as a loan to some banks, state. So that money is for federal government. And I am assure you, Nasuru, if investigation go deep, some of the Nigerian banks will come back to be owned by government, because it's a government money that some people buy shares.
That was used.
That was used to buy the shares in some banks. So it's a Nigerian money. And this thing we are doing it for the benefit of our country.
Honorable Muhammad Gudaji Kazori, in as much as we can accept or agree with what you are trying to say, there are some that are really arguing that there is an argument, or some people are saying, how on earth that 50-50 naira of stamp duty can accumulate to become trillions of naira that you are saying is a stamp duty money that is yet to be transferred into one account?
When you go back, when the cashless transaction started in 6 states, including plus FCT, 6 states plus FCT, central bank said they target 2.5 trillion per year in 6 states. The time they started cashless transaction, in only 6 states plus Abuja, they target 2.5 trillion a year. So when they expand the cashless policy to 36 states, that is how the money accumulated to that amount. That 15 naira you see, go and count the millions of transactions times 15 naira per day. You will see the money is bigger than what I am expecting.
So maybe if I think it's only myself that is paying the 15 naira, there are many others that are paying the same money.
The money is, when you go back to the 60-40 ratio, there is another 100 naira, because they abandoned stamp duty and created 100 naira charges, double the stamp duty. So that 60 bank, they return 60, they send CBN 40 to CBN. So that 40 is not shown in the CBN balance sheet or in any government account. So that 40 times millions of transactions times those years is the money go to the private investors account in the CBN, then from there to I&E window market, borrow to some people, borrowed dollars to different states, and this is why we said it's a Nigerian money. Government borrowed its own money, and this is seriously, it's a disgrace to our nation that in 2023 budget, even the salary of the federal government workers, 70% of the salary will be implemented by borrowing. How Nasuru this country with the 200 plus millions people doing almost 100 million transactions a day, deducting this money every day? You said government cannot afford to pay salary until they borrow. They go and borrow government money to give government. That is why our investigation shows that there is no faith or any sanity or justice or fairness in this borrowing money. How can you borrow, somebody will borrow you your money?
In our last interview, there was that letter that you disclosed to us from a lawyer asking you to withdraw your statement and also pay damages of 500 million naira. Is there anything new that came after that one?
No, I advised the lawyer on media that he should not trigger us to release another document that he never expect we have it. Whatever we are doing with the forensic auditors. And these forensic auditors, they are agent to the central bank, and they are agent to the federal government of Nigeria. At last, they even have agreement, master service agreement with the NIPOST. So they have experience, they have even copyright on 50 naira stamp duty on cashless and manual tellers. So the lawyer sent me a letter that I should withdraw my statement. I am not talking on myself. I am talking on what committee find. As a secretary to the Presidential Committee on Reconciliation and Recovery of all stamp duty from 2013 to date, this is my responsibility to come out and tell Nigerians what we find in our investigation. But what's surprising me yet, I am still trying to meet Mr. President to explain him the reason why I talk to you media. Because for almost 2 months we are running our committee activities without informing any media, and nobody's know when we were inaugurated, because we saw in out of secrecy, but frustration that people block me, as we did with Mr. President, that each and every week I should go and report it to him. That is what made me to become public. And this lawyer that he sent me he's supposed to invite me or come and meet me to hear the reasons why I mentioned such amount. I am not disgracing the CBN governor. I am not disgracing the CBN. I am telling the truth about what is hidden in the CBN. And it's shameful to Nigerian government that we should borrow money to pay salary of the federal government workers. Even salary, not even infrastructure, roads, project, road construction, drainage, bridges, and others, dams, and those development projects. If not even we are talking about capital project, we are talking about salary of the federal government workers. 70% of the salary will be implemented by borrowing. And these people, they hold Nigerian money in their hand. This is what is paining me. Why? Nigerian people cannot supposed to suffer.
Honorable Kazore, are you optimistic that one day you will meet Mr. President Muhammadu Buhari?
Yeah, I want to meet Mr. President as my father, because I consider him as my father. I lost my father about 8 to 7 months ago.
7 years.
8 months.
8 months.
Just
Very recently. Not even up to a year.
I lost my father.
Okay, let's go.
That born me. But the only father I have is the President Muhammadu Buhari now. So I am trying to make sure he succeed in this his administration, because he's a man of God, he's a man of integrity, he's a man of honesty. But people spoil his name. People do him all these things. Some Nigerians are suspecting he's aware. So I am trying to enlighten and educate Nigerian people to tell them that since Mr. President appointed this committee, he gives us power to continue our investigation. Despite all these letters that they are sending us, they suspend our committee activities. Mr. President said he didn't suspend us. We should continue. So that means Mr. President is with Nigerian people, and still he is fighting corruption. So
finally, yes, I can hear you. Just go ahead.
So I am appealing to those people around the president and the president, the family of the president, to make sure I inform the president that I am doing this thing to bring out his integrity, because those people that he appoint as his medias, they didn't come and tell Nigerians his honesty. That is why you can hurt some people, they are accusing Mr. President. But Mr. President is honest. He didn't steal any money. He didn't do anything wrong. He is running this government with honesty and integrity, but still people are complaining because some of his appointees, they sideline him. They didn't tell him the truth. So this money that we recovered, I am sure maybe some they go and tell the president that this our committee is against the constitution. There is nothing against the constitution. I am a Nigerian, and president has a power over the constitution. Constitution give him power.
Under the constitution.
Under the constitution,
yes,
it give him power to
yes.
overpower even the constitution. So to form the committee, appoint any legislature, judiciary, executive to work, any security to work for Nigeria. We are working for Nigeria. We want to save this country because this country is on the road of collapse. So, and this man is a honest person. He trusts these people. He appointed them, but they didn't tell him the truth. That is why I am worried, and I want to meet him to tell him the truth, and there is nothing but the truth.
All right, finally, Mr. Kazore, tell us, what is your message to the CBN Governor, Godwin Emefiele? Have you heard about him for some time now? Or let me ask you, what is your message to him?
My message to him, wherever he is in the world, let him come back to this country.
Is he not around?
He is not around. They say he's on medical trip, which we are suspecting he ran away. But I am advising him wherever he is in the world to know that Honorable Gudaji is not fighting Emefiele. I am not fighting CBN. I don't have business with them. I am not fighting anybody. And before this committee, I invite them to solve this issue amicably, to return the government money. They refuse. So I am advising him, as president directed him to open stamp duty central account since 2017. Let him come back this country, open stamp duty central account, centralize all these collections, 50 naira stamp duty, 40 naira charges from banks, let them centralize in that account so that we will not borrow money. Then the money we are suspecting, we are sure, I am sure 89 trillion will not be found because it is scattered. But even let 30 or 40 trillion move to that account so that we can go and tell Mr. President that we recover, there is no borrowing anymore. We will not borrow money and we will reduce our debt.
Okay, I can understand you.
What I advise the CBN governor to do.
Mr. Kuzora, I can understand you. Since that our own, even the budget is about, is it 23 trillion naira? So if Nigeria can get like 40 trillion naira, there is no need to borrow.
No need to borrow money. That is why I am fighting this. Because under the man of integrity, man of God, President Muhammad Buhari, the man of integrity, the man that still now, he is the poor president among all the presidents in Nigeria ever. He is the most poor president among them.
Maybe you can say the president that doesn't have money. Let's just describe it like that.
He didn't steal money. He don't have money. Even his Esther court, he returned it to bank and put it in the federal government account. He divided his salary into two, paid half to bank. So Mr. President has no money. He's a man of integrity. That is why the thing is paining me that some people are trying to decrease his integrity.
Even you said you may not likely have like 10 million naira in your bank accounts. You too, you have said that. I heard you in an interview that if there will be a check or investigation into all your accounts, perhaps you may not likely have 10 million naira into that account.
Now I am investigating CBN. Let CBN investigate my account, because they are superior to all Nigerian banks. Let CBN investigate all my. I have only one account. I have two companies. That two companies, since I was elected, I didn't put money in that account, in those company account for 7 years. And I run my personal account. Go and check my personal account. As of today, you will never find 6 million in that account.
It's less than even 10 million naira.
It's less than 6 million naira in my account. And I have only that account. And I never keep money in any places in this House of Representatives for tomorrow. I didn't do that. All the money I have is for the people. The more I get it, I solve my people problems to the limit of my capacity. So I am not joking. I am telling what is in my heart, and what that is my secret. I don't have money because nobody give me money in this government. I never go to any office look for money. If you see me in any place, I am looking for the project or employment to my people.
That's very good, Honorable Muhammad Gudaji Kazore. Even though I said finally, maybe you have one word or two to Nigerians.
The word I have to Nigerians is I am grateful. Even today, Friday, I had many Jumu'at mosques. They pray for me. I am grateful. May Allah bless them. May Allah forgive their sin and give them Jannatul Firdausi. Those people that are praying for me, may Allah answer their prayers. Them too, they have need. I am praying for them. May Allah fulfill their needs. And what I will tell Nigerian, I am grateful. I am grateful. I am serving for them, and I am ready 24 hours to serve for Nigerian people. And I am happy, and I am not fighting. I want Nigerians to know that I am not fighting for myself. I am not fighting for because somebody get money or something. I am not fighting anybody. I want to Nigerian government to use its own money to stop borrowing. That is what I want Nigerian to understand. And I am grateful for Nigerian people for their prayers.
Thank you very much, Muhammad Gudaji Kazore.
Thank you very much.
Until next time when we get another opportunity.
I told you I am always ready. I'm ever ready.
Yes, I can now agree with you. I cannot agree with you more because you demonstrated
I'm ever ready.
that
Anytime
you
you came, whatever you need from me, you get it freely, inshallah.
Thank you very much.
Thank
Goodbye.
you.